When a fighting game first comes out, it's safe to say the majority of the player base has absolutely no idea what's going on. Some players are obviously going to have the basics down, and others are going to figure out the game systems really quickly because they're just smart like that. But every player is at some point going to ask the age-old question. Where combo? One of the greatest things about fighting games as a genre is that there are so many ways to smack your opponent silly. Some games let you fluidly cancel one attack into another. Some require you to time moves so that they connect properly. Some have tight restrictions on what moves can go into what. And some games get very specific by having a bunch of different fighting styles depending on the character that you're playing. And don't even get me started on 3D games, because I wouldn't know where to start. What do you want about juggling? Do I look like a clown to you? Because every game has differences in how combos work, generally players need a little bit of help to figure out how to actually combo the opponent. This is extra important if you release a new character who's a little bit funky, or any pre-established knowledge either doesn't apply to them, or is just slightly different to the rest of the cast. If only there was a system in these games that let developers show me directly how my character is able to combo their moves together. Let's talk about combo trials. Combo trials are a staple of fighting games, and the likelihood is hearing these words is making you think of some of the extremely hard trials. Proper King of Fighters 13s and Under Night In-Birth stuff. Combos that are so hard they'll blow your head right off your shoulders. And while these trials definitely exist, and we'll get onto them, most combo trials don't actually exist with the intent to create extremely hard combos. In fact, basically every modern fighting game has combo trials that are not only doable, but generally designed to be beaten by most players in less than an hour. This might be a crazy concept, but generally in game design, it's a good idea if the players can win. And because of that, a lot of combo trials end up looking like this. For beginner players, they are a very useful tool though. Combos are the flashiest and most well-known part of fighting games, and giving new players a tool to be able to get the grasp of them in a safe space is a great idea. I would be lying if I said I hadn't used combo trials in almost every fighting game that I've ever played, and if I haven't, it's either because they don't have them, or I found a better solution to figure out my character's combos. The problem is that for players who have a better understanding of these games, combo trials end up becoming pretty useless pretty quickly. Remember that Trunks combo that I showed earlier from Dragon Ball FighterZ? Yeah, it looks pretty cool, but that's not actually a good combo. Here's something that uses less meter and does more damage. This is extremely unoptimal, by the way. The combos that the game gives you are generally pretty bad. For example, this game has an almost universal bread and butter combo that does a decent amount of damage and builds enough meter for you to actually do some funky things after it. Plus, if you use an assist or some meter, you're able to turn this simple B&B into a half-health combo that all leads into strong Oki and pressure sequences. But the game doesn't teach you that, and considering that this is the strongest place to teach players that concept, it's not looking good. There are two main problems that combo trials face that cause them to end up being obscure and obsolete content. One, the combos become outdated, and two, players are really good at finding new ways to use tools. When the developers are making combos for their combo trials, they're working with the knowledge that they have on how the character currently functions. The reason that Dragon Ball FighterZ combos look so bad now isn't because the developers decide to give the character a bad combo as a teaching tool, it's because they made them back in 2018 when the game originally came out. This combo was made for a version of the game we can't easily access anymore because it's 6 years old. The B&B combo that almost every character can use wasn't common knowledge when the game first came out. So instead of having an actual useful B&B, the developers decided to use the final combo trial to show you that you can use a Vanish to combo into Trunks' level 1. The process of these combos becoming outdated can happen extremely quickly too. A lot of combo trials end with a long damaging combo that is intended for actual in-game use. This Slayer combo in Strive is definitely something that I would have done near the character's release, as it gives you a wall stick for around 50% meter, along with dealing a relatively decent amount of damage. However, it was quickly found that Slayer is able to use Power Bunker while the opponent is over him, and this causes the opponent to fly with Slayer, meaning combos like this could easily be transformed into a much better combo that looks like this. Things like this were found within days of Slayer's release, and thus these combo trials became obsolete pretty quickly. This wouldn't have been a problem if they weren't shit to begin with, though. Trial 1 and 2 are obviously made to show players the bare bones basic of the character, and Trial 5 and 4 are more complex combos, but let's be entirely real, they're not that useful anymore. But Trial 3 has a fundamental flaw in it that no one I know has noticed yet, and it feels like I've stumbled onto some forbidden knowledge that I shouldn't know about. And if anyone here knows even the slightest bit about Slayer, you should be seeing the issue too. Thank you, Arxis. Safe to say that Strive has some work that needs doing on it, but that doesn't mean that all combo trials are bad. Hell, I'd even say that some continue to remain relevant long after they've been released. I do think the Under Night is a pretty good example of this. The Under Night in-birth combo trials are reliably difficult and require tight execution from the player even on simpler characters. They are expertly designed combo trials, and I don't just mean that because the end combos are actually useful, I mean because they show you how to build up the combo. The first couple of combos are always pretty easy, and they slowly get harder and harder like normal combo trials do. However, the later combos in the trial end up incorporating the earlier ones in different segments. If you break down a later combo trial, you can find bits and pieces of the earlier combo trials within them. So Under Night is basically teaching you how to build bigger combos by mashing the smaller ones together. They're obviously not optimal. In fact, they are very much far from it, but they have enough depth and practicability that you can just plop them into matches and begin performing well. I think these combo trials give you something great, though. They teach you something that not many other combo trials do, and that is your basic combo theory. In most fighting games, people see combos as rigid sets of inputs that you need to press in a certain order or else the combo drops. And while this is technically true, once you dig a little bit deeper, you can begin to see that there is more depth to it than that. Let's take Slayer for an example. Remember the combo I showed earlier where Slayer hit the power bunker and you slid along with him? Yeah, the backshot combo. I'm glad you remember. Well, this combo actually has multiple ways to get into it, with the main ones being Roman cancel and counter hits. Depending on the star that you get, you gain the ability to go into different sections of the combo. Let's say that you get one hit and immediately red Roman cancel. You're able to get up to a maximum of 3 loops of dandy step before the combo naturally concludes or forces a flip out. This does depend on multiple different factors like combo starter, spacing, and of course your actual skill level. However, if you do a longer combo beforehand, the close slash to 2H portion will no longer connect, meaning that you only get 2 loops before being forced to end the combo. Knowing how to get into these situations is an important part of maximizing your damage as Slayer, as well as knowing when to cut your losses and go for a combo that will get you a wall break or combos into super. Knowing when to use parts of different combos and how to link them together is much more powerful than just knowing how to do a combo. And I believe the Under Night trials are great at teaching you not only your basic combo structure, but also giving you the tools to dissect other combos and see how they function. They let you see the segments of different combos and see how they link together, along with giving you the basic ability to theory craft your own. If all combo trials function like this, I think that more players would be able to construct their own combos. Speaking of constructing your own combos, Strive is a feature for that where you are able to make combos and upload them for other players to play and learn, which sounds like a really good feature. However, I have a question for you. When was the last time you got an actual good combo from that? The idea of making your own combo trial is fun, but most of the combos on this system are either redundant since well, there are just better combos out there, are flawed because the earlier uploaded combos proportionally get more likes and plays than the ones that are made later, which are probably better. Not to mention, most players end up putting their better, more optimal combos in other places. Like, I like the custom combo trial and it has a lot of potential, but I think it needs more adoption from players and better filtration systems. The no system helps, but the automatic combo trial seemingly just takes the most liked combos that you haven't completed yet, and I don't have a perfect fix for this, but I think it could have some improvements, but that's a chat for another time. Combo trials are an iconic part of fighting games, and a great introductory tool that can be done very, very well. However, the unfortunate fact of the matter is that they end up staying like that. Just a tool for players to learn how their character can hit multiple attacks. If players want to learn more, they have to go externally to find more relevant and better information. This doesn't mean they can't do interesting things, though. I obviously brought up Under Night earlier. However, I know combo trials like the King of Fighters 13 mix up the mundane normal trial formula by teaching you interesting gimmicks about characters through gameplay, as well as teaching you more complex fighting game motions. But unfortunately, unless developers find a way to consistently update their combos, which, let's be honest, a bit too much work, they're always going to fall behind and stay as something for new players. But is that a bad thing? I think having something as a tool dedicated to teaching new players how to construct a combo is a great thing, and it definitely helps the inputs are displayed in a understandable way. Being able to point a newbie at a combo trial and say, learn this, and it'll make more sense when you play, is a great idea. And I wish more games used combo trials like that.